the testimony. But first I will tell you about his early years. So he grew up in a very wealthy village. His parents were wine and liquor manufacturers, which is a wonderful excuse when I want to participate in those in wine drinking. And he had a very charmed life, and I'll read some of it. So, my parents were descendants of a well-to-do family, Fulop and Hartmann and Sons. My grandfather's business was in Berehovo, Czechoslovakia. I recall my childhood as being very happy. We had a Fräulein from Sudetenland who taught us to speak German, which was the semi-official business language in a mostly Hungarian country town. So this becomes very important later on, that leads to his survival. So he learns German. My earliest recall, he has an older sister and a younger sister. I was a lively child and enjoyed other children's company. We lived in a place, so I'll just sum this up. They had a pub there, they had vineyards, they had fruit brandy, Slivovitz factory, cottage for the workers, where the Jewish coachman and his family lived. There was plenty of room to play in our big backyard or on the street. And my sister reminds me also that they were very they were Orthodox, so they kept Shabbat. They were very generous with tzedakah. They gave.
On Fridays, people would come to them and they'd give them food.
Yeah. So that's, he was part of the Hanoar Hatzioni organization, so they had a Zionist organization there. I played soccer, tennis, learned photo developing, important, helped in manufacturing in the liquor factory, went with workers to our vineyards, rode bicycles, ice skating, sleigh riding. Things were rosy till I was 16. Let's juxtapose that with my grandmother. Meet Marta. She had a very different story. She was born in West Hungary in a small town called Magyargans, and then this is his hat. And this is her scarf. It was in the spring of 1942 in Budapest. I was in the military working brigade. We were responsible for building airports around the country. This was before Germany invaded Hungary, so we were supposed to wear a yellow star, but it wasn't enforced yet. We worked from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and weekdays, and free to leave the camp evenings and weekends. We had good times with the town Jewish girls. Went to parties, to swimming pools, coffee houses, Sunday afternoon dances in our free time. A friend of mine called Judy Feldman asked me if I wanted to come to a party with him. Welcome. He told me there will be a girl there who he was very much in love with. But she didn't want him. Perhaps I may have better luck with her. I agree to come with him. When we arrived to the place in Pech, a nice flat full of our age group of Jewish boys and girls, we made, it's okay, just be comfortable, because it's a party, Welcome! We made our way to Marta, who was a beautiful young woman with a round face and beautiful big breasts. I thought I just dreaming. Judy introduced me to her. We had the opportunity to talk a few words. I said only a girl from Budapest could look so charming. Actually, I am from a town called Papa, in the west. By that time, the party became more noisy. The host and his friend asked Marta to sing to the company. They stood her on a chair. The crowd of youngsters became quiet, and she sang. Roji, Roji, mi bayad, mert nem akad szólni. Elterette hegedűm, nem akad szólani. A hegedűm majd mereperálom. Szala meghál, rubintos virágom. Roji, Roji, what is wrong? Why don't you talk? My violin is broken and I can't play. Oh, my violin, I will repair it. Just talk to me, my ruby flower. Everybody admire her beautiful voice. It was out of this world. I thought, can nature produce such a miracle that beauty and talent can both exist in the one person? I told Judy I'm going to marry that girl after the war. She was many times on my mind, but I did not see her for a long time. I had acquired a photo of her From my friend Judy, which one I held close in my heart. Looking at this photo and thinking of her, I think so. It saved my life. He came back from the war and he found me in the Budapest at my Uncle Yoli and Auntie Yoji house. I don't know how he found me. I was in the kitchen to learning cooking. And he came in an SS uniform. When the Americans freed the concentration camps, they opened a big warehouse and they said, grab what you can, because all they had were rags. I looked up and I suddenly said, it is my fiancé, which one he took seriously. But it wasn't true. Only a few times we saw each other. Really, I was trying to make jealous my boyfriend who wasn't taking me seriously. After the camps, Mauthausen, Gönskirchen, and Liberation, I returned to Budapest. I decided to find Marta in the clothes which the American army, which happened to be an SS uniform. I asked around until a girlfriend of Bandy Fritz happened to know Jutsi, Marta's sister. She was working in a bank. She told me where I can find Marta, and I made my way straight away to an address in Újpest. There she was in the kitchen, making a fine vegetable soup. There was with her father and a boy about my age. As I stepped in, Marta told in a happy voice, my old bridegroom come back. I was surprised to hear such words. I felt quite happy that she did not forget me. So we decided to get married. Furniture shop. So for my wedding dress, they gave me a piece of material what they're using for couches. Yeah, I went to all these places. I'm going to tell you now a very beautiful story. Oh, when I went to Bedexaz and then there was this, I found this shul. It wasn't the main shul, it was a secondary shul, and they had found the Jews that came back, or like bags of these Holocaust survivor sidurim, machzorim, texts, and I went through every single one of them and spent hours, days there, and about that row at the very end, I found this, and it belonged to Laszlo Hartmann, my grandfather's brother, who went to Auschwitz, and that's him. Wow. And I found it. So that's very special. About connection, and then this other, that's him on the left. And this is another really good story that, well, I don't know about good, but that was the main shul in the square. And then when the Soviets came, they put that facade on. And then it just got announced this year that that I think it's Hungarian funded, that they are restoring it. They're taking the facade off and they're restoring it and they're turning it into an art centre. So that's really huge. So that is the end.
Did you want to read what Papa wrote?
I'll just read his legacy. What he writes. If somebody would ask me if I would start again, would I make things differently? I would say that whatever happened to me during my lifetime, I accept that whatever happened, it was worthwhile the struggle I had sometimes in my life. To the question, what made me survive the difficult time in the war, I would say my optimism, my determination to survive the war, and the feeling that God guiding me, and finally good luck. Looking back, I consider myself and my wife very lucky that we managed to bring up our children, married them under a chuppah, all attended by many of our family members and friends. We have 7 actually grandchildren, 3 of them married, 1 great-grandson. Actually, they have 10 great-grandchildren now. We just had our 52nd wedding anniversary, made a lot of friends in Melbourne and Perth, living a happy and busy life, enjoying a fairly good health, good parnasa, and a loving family. Thanks Hashem for that. Yeah, there is something to facing our histories. There's something to that. Australia, the largest Holocaust survivor. Melbourne.
No, I just have a question.
I was just going to share, I don't know, I just feel compelled to share just another angle that my Zadie, when he was a boy, he was always hearing the newscasts about the Holocaust, about Hitler, and he grew up saying, in America, I'm going to fight him one day. I'm going to fight Hitler one day. And as soon as he was old enough to enlist, he signed up for the army and he fought the Nazis in Germany.
Wow.
So it's a big source of pride for our family that he wanted to dedicate his energies to that.
Wow.
Important.
Wait, do you know where
Most important.
Do you know where he went?
Because he was all over Germany. I mean, eventually he was captured and placed in prisoner of war. And
Wow.
he almost died yet. Scurvy, I think. And
Wow.
yeah.
That's scary.